Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today for our live stream with TradeGecko. We will get started in a couple minutes from now. We'll give everyone a chance to join, get settled. So we'll look to kick it off at, let's say, 1:02 exactly. Thanks again for joining us, and we're glad you're here. All right, my clock says 1:02, so we're gonna get started. So just kind of to kind of give you an overview of how this live stream is going to go today. We expect it should be about a 30-minute presentation. After our presentation, we'll be doing a live question and answer period, in which we'll be taking all the questions that you guys have posted throughout the live stream and answering them at the end. So if you have questions that come up while we're talking, feel free to submit them now, and we will get to them at the end. If you have any difficulties hearing myself, feel free to post in the chat and let us know. We want to make sure we can have everyone that hears us clearly and that there are no issues whatsoever. So thanks again for joining us. And yeah, we're excited today to talk to you about how to grow your subscription business model and take your e-commerce business to the new heights. Good. I'm glad everyone's hearing us loud and clear. I appreciate the messages. Okay. So for those of you joining us today, we're going to get started with a little bit of a introduction. So I'm speaking right now. My name is Kevin Wild. I am the partnerships manager at Bold Commerce. Bold Commerce is we're a Shopify app development company. We've been around for around 6 years now. We've made a bunch of different sales utility apps, everything ranging from product upsell to help you sell more, to a wholesale solution called customer pricing, to the app that we're going to talk about today, which is our Bold Subscriptions app, which helps you gain recurring revenue. As you can see on the screen, we have a lot of active customers, and we've worked with some really big companies, but we also work with mom and pop shops too. We work with a wide range of customers. Joining me today for this presentation, and I'm super excited about this, is Mark from our friends over at TradeGecko. I will let Mark introduce himself.
Thank you so much, Kevin, and I'm very excited to be here as well. So I am the partnership manager here at TradeGecko. So TradeGecko is an inventory and order management software. We cater towards the e-commerce and wholesale markets, SME, entrepreneurs, small businesses, and emerging brands. And what's great about us is we're global. We are based out of Singapore. We also have an office based out of Toronto here in North America. We tower the globe, 90 different countries in terms of the customer base that we currently cater towards, and we are a Shopify Plus technology partner. So very, very happy to be here. I'm very excited to give you the lowdown on TradeGecko.
Thanks, Mark. So before we get started with the walking through the agenda today, I do want to remind everyone here that we will be posting the recording at a date later on. So if for some reason you have to leave and you miss a part, don't worry, we'll be emailing everyone who registered a link to the recording. So let's begin by going through the agenda and what we're going to talk about today. So first off, we're going to talk about what is a subscription model, recurring revenue, and something called LTV. We're going to go through key subscription trends. So we're going to talk about a few ideas that have been really popular in the e-commerce world lately and how that can help you make recurring revenue. Then I'm going to pass it over to TradeGecko, and we're going to talk about inventory management. Oh, wait, people are saying they have no audio. Can everyone hear us?
Can you hear me too?
I can hear you. Okay.
So we're good. Okay.
It seems like a lot of people have audio, so good, perfect. Then I'm going to pass it over to Mark to talk about inventory management, common problem areas for inventory and order management, and how solving these issues and problem areas can help grow your business. Then we're going to wrap up by talking about how TradeGecko and Bold are working together, and like I mentioned, we're going to have a live Q&A at the end. So if you have any hard-hitting questions for us, feel free to submit them as we go along, and we will get to them at the very end. So first off, let's hopefully you guys can get your audio issues and make sure everyone's hearing us. But let's jump into subscriptions, right? So subscriptions is a term that you guys have no doubt heard about. It's been around in the both the e-commerce and retail world for a long time. We all have subscriptions, whether it's a cable subscription or a cell phone subscription or magazine subscription, if people are still subscribed to magazines. We've all heard of that topic. But as of late, it's really come to the e-commerce world. Businesses have been looking for ways to implement subscriptions because it's a great way to make more money. You get that consistent revenue every month. So when we're talking about subscriptions, we're really not necessarily talking about subscription specifically. We're talking about recurring revenue. The idea of one-time revenue being great, but recurring revenue being better. If you can have customers come back to you over and over and over again, we all know that's a better business model than somebody who just comes back once. And with subscriptions, you can automate that. You can automate somebody, reordering from your store month after month after month, and not leave it up to chance as to whether they'll come back next month. So we all know recurring revenue, it's consistent, it's reliable, it's forecastable, which is huge. That allows you to look ahead both months and years into the future, knowing that you are going to make a certain amount of money off of your subscribers. It builds customer loyalty, and also, like I said, doesn't give them the chance to leave you. We all know that when you have to, say, buy a new bag of coffee, every time you go into the grocery store, you may intend on buying the same brand every time, but if a new brand is out there, maybe it's on sale, you might get convinced to try something new. Subscriptions takes that chance away and convinces customers to come back to you time and time again, takes that choice away. And lastly, it improves the lifetime value, or LTV. Now, that's something that we really want to dive into here. Something we talk a lot about at Bold Commerce is about LTV. So what is LTV? What is lifetime value? Well, to put it simply, it is a value of each of your customers. It is what a customer is worth to you. Now, why is this important? Well, you guys are all spending time and money acquiring new customers. You're trying to get customers to come to your website. You're trying to get them to convert, trying to get them to buy. If you don't know what a customer is worth to you, you're really in the dark because you're spending this money trying to acquire them, not knowing how much they're going to spend. So if you can figure out what a value of a customer is to you, you then have this metric that you can determine how much you want to spend to acquire them, right? So this is a number that you should figure out. You should have written on your wall, bulletin board, whiteboard, wherever you have the opportunity to write it, and work every month at trying to increase it. That's what we're about at Bold, and that's what we're going to talk about a little bit today. Now, before you can figure out how you can increase it, you got to figure out how to calculate it. So this is basically a very similar, very simple formula on how you will calculate this. Feel free to take a screenshot if you or write this down. But basically the formula is you would take your total revenue over a time period, So depending on how long your business has been around for, if you can say go revenue over the past year, over the past 90 days, those are good time frames to look at. You take the revenue over that time period, and then you divide it by the total amount of customers in that same time period. And now when we're looking at the total customers, we want to make sure that we're looking at the total number of unique customers. If a customer comes back and buys multiple times from you in that year, we want to make sure we're only counting them as one customer. And you can get this data from Shopify, from the platform, as well as you can get the data for the revenue from the platform, of course. So if you take that revenue and you divide it by the number of customers, you'll come up with a dollar figure. So if we take $50,000, say over the course of a year, and we have had 350 unique customers purchase from us, then we know that our customer is worth $142.86, right? So whenever we're trying to acquire these customers, we want to make sure that we're spending less than that. And if we're spending more than that, then we would have to work at trying to increase it. So this is really why we're talking about subscriptions today. This stat, we worked with Compass Analytics on a few of our clients to figure out how recurring orders is affecting their business. And this is what we found. We found out that the lifetime value of their customers almost doubled when subscriptions were offered, right? So this is a huge opportunity for merchants. Now, this kind of brings us to our main point, which is it's great to offer subscriptions, but you have to figure out how you can offer subscriptions, right? It's not always as simple as selling a bag of coffee and offering someone to get that same bag of coffee every month. People sell apparel, people sell jewelry. There's all different kinds of business models, and that typical subscription model doesn't work for everyone. So we're going to jump into a couple of different trends that we've noticed that people are utilizing our app for. The first is the build-a-box approach. So the build-a-box approach is basically almost like a shopping bag, where a customer would come to your website and they would come and select from a pre-selected list of items. This is very popular for meal plans where people are trying to offer food on a recurring basis, where they'd say they can select one dinner dish, one supper dish, one dessert, say, and offer this together in a bundle and then let customers subscribe to it. It's also popular for, say, apparel, where you want to build a membership where somebody would have a full outfit. They could select a hat, they could select the shirt, pants, shoes, offer it in the build-a-box. This approach is popular because it provides flexibility for your customers. It allows them to select the individual items out of a predefined list that would go inside their box. And it also allows you to offer seasonal products that rotate in and out of subscriptions. So when you're offering your subscriptions, your options in the first place, a year from now, those options may change. So you can actually swap those out and have customers re-choose what they want in their box every month, every 3 months, every year, depending on how frequently you're delivering the package. This is an example of one of our clients that's currently using this feature. You can see here they're offering a meal plan where you can choose. This is the Arnold Schwarzenegger meal plan. They can choose 5 meals per week. And when they choose the meals, then they're given these options of adding individual ones to the cart and proceeding through checkout. So this is totally possible with our app with no sort of customizations required. The next, and this is one of the most trendy, is the mystery box. So this is almost a polar opposite of what I just talked about, where somebody will subscribe to a subscription box, which is a box containing a bunch of items from your store, but it's a mystery. They don't know what's inside that box. And it could be items that are regularly available on your store. It could be limited edition items. Who knows? It's a surprise. The benefits of this approach is provides a great experience for your customers. It's really exciting. When customers get the box, they open it up. They're surprised at all the different items that they're getting. They share it on social media. It's a fantastic approach. From a merchant perspective, it provides you great margins because you can sell a bunch of items at one cost for higher than they would normally sell. Allows you to move inventory. So since you're selecting the exact items that go into each box, you can choose whatever you want to offer that month. And it could be items that maybe aren't moving as well, or items that aren't being understood by your customer base. And lastly, you can offer products with limited availability. So if you want to bring exclusive products from a partner or from a reseller that you don't normally offer, you can offer those in a mystery box. This is an example of one of our clients that's currently offering a mystery box. So Lucky Tackle Box sells fishing tackle. Instead of offering all the fishing tackle available in their store, they bundle it together in a subscription and they offer that on a monthly basis. What they did that's kind of neat is they do a prepaid subscription as well, which is where they allow customers to prepay ahead of time for a subscription. So as you can see, they can pay ahead for a full 12 months of their subscription, a full year of tackle, save some money and get a free gift to go along with that. It's kind of a neat approach to convince people to commit for a full year at a time rather than just monthly basis. The third example is a membership club style of membership. So this is similar to, say, a Costco membership, if you're familiar, where a customer could pay a certain amount of dollars per month, say $10 a month, to get either access to your store or to get privileged access to your store, where they would get additional discounts, maybe something like free shipping, or they get access to exclusive content like a blog or videos that regularly people normally can't access. A cool example of this, and this is one of my favorite examples. Whoops, I'm going to cover this first. It's great for customer loyalty. It helps you build your brand, and it can be integrated into the entire store experience. And it can be combined with another subscription offering. So this is what I was going to talk about. This is what I was so excited about. I just skipped that last slide. You can tell I'm really, really invested in this. It is the Pure Vita bracelets. So when they first came to us, in my head, I was thinking, how can you offer bracelets on a subscription? You know, like they're not consumable. They don't go away. People only want so many of them. What Pure Vita did is they offer a monthly club where if you sign up either for on a monthly term or in a yearly term, you get exclusive bracelets. So these bracelets aren't available anywhere else. You can't buy them unless you are part of the monthly club. And then you get a bunch of other exclusive perks on their store. So not only do they have a membership, but it ties in with a product as well. And they've had a ton of success with it. And it's a great way to offer subscriptions on your store. Now, these are just a couple examples. Bold Subscriptions has a ton of variety of the various subscription models you can implement. Everything from payment plans to free trial subscriptions, expiring subscriptions, gift subscriptions, and convertible subscriptions. It really supports any sort of subscription offering that you could think of. So if you have kind of a unique case for us, feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to walk it through with you and figure out exactly how we can make that work. So before I pass it off to TradeGecko, Mark, I want to just talk a little bit more about Bold Subscription. So just highlight a few key features if you haven't used the app before, and that is, as I mentioned, we support a lot of different subscription models. We have a in-depth subscription management page for our customers where they can manage their own subscription. For those businesses who already have subscribers, we offer a cancellation prevention system, which will reduce churn. So when customers subscribe, it will keep them subscribed and not make it as easy for them to leave your service. We have powerful reporting, and we're fully integrated with Shopify. So now I'm going to pass it over to Mark at TradeGecko. I'm really excited for him to talk about TradeGecko, the service, what issues it solves with inventory and order management, because this is really important. When you do start offering a subscription service and you get into things like mystery boxes and you get into things like Build-A-Box, it does create some complex inventory and order management situations. And TradeGecko is the perfect partner for us to be able to work with. So I'll let Mark take it from here.
That's great. Thank you so much, Kevin. So I think in terms of where to start it out here, as I'm trying to figure out this slide deck here, the piece that I think is really important to kind of start out with is looking at our founder story. So our founders, our brothers actually based out of New Zealand, Kim and Bradley, and they had a high-end t-shirt business, their partner being Carl Thompson as well. And as they were looking to kind of build out that business, they ran into operational challenges that I believe a lot of entrepreneurs run into. These challenges range. They can range from you're starting to use pen and paper. You might start using Excel. Back in 2010 with their business, there weren't much in terms of file sharing services, and you get stuck on these old systems. Communication between systems. So if you're using specific accounting software, if you're using specific software for your e-commerce site, systems not talking to each other being a big challenge. In terms of overselling and underselling, another key challenge where they're spending all their time trying to figure out, okay, how do we make sure to maximize our seasonality trends? And then the last piece, which I'm sure many of you have probably felt before, your bookkeeper or accountant, around that time, around accounting season, are asking for kind of all the data and reports for their accounting software and for their systems for audits, and the amount of time that you spend doing all of that. So as they started to look into market and see the different solutions that were out there for small, mid-sized businesses, there wasn't anything else outside of leveraging Excel and spreadsheets and kind of the big ERPs. So at that point, they really dove deep, did a lot of analysis, and saw three big themes that they were looking to solve with the TradeGecko solution. So first is around order management. So what does order management mean? It means that you might have orders coming in from a variety of different sources. You might be selling through retail, using a POS software. You might have a wholesale component to your business. You probably are selling online, and if not, lots of options out there as well, and through various marketplaces like eBay and Walmart. And being able to track all those orders and order flows becomes increasingly difficult. And specifically around payments on invoices, and then collecting those payments, and then all the way through into the fulfillment side, making sure that your customers are getting a really, really strong experience through and through. So the second big problem area was around inventory management and having inventory controls. So when do we, look to purchase the right amount of stocks? How do we have, the systems in place so that we can do that? How do we minimize our holding costs? Because if we have too much inventory, that's going to cost us a lot of money. If we don't have enough inventory, that's going to not allow us to make or maximize that amount of money. So how do we stay on top of that sales velocity? And then the third piece is around warehouse management. So in terms of whether you're fulfilling in-house and having the right tools, being able to generate shipping labels and documents, and or leveraging a third party, so a 3PL, to be able to have insights into those inventory levels, be able to look at kind of your PO history, and be able to actually manage everything through one comprehensive solution. So that's where TradeGecko comes in. So what we like to look at with TradeGecko is being the single source of truth to manage your entire back-end operation. So everything from your sales order management all the way through to your repurchasing, being able to collect payments, be able to send out invoices, and be able to track that fulfillment cycle all the way through. And then the last piece is to attach all that into your accounting so that you're not worried about double entry or spending the time potentially getting it wrong. So now what I'm going to do is, just looking at time here, we're looking pretty good. So I'm going to go into the TradeGecko platform and a couple screen grabs to give you a flavor around how TradeGecko actually operates. So the first one here is the dashboard. So when you look at the dashboard, the first thing that you'll see is immediately, which is an eye-opener for a lot of business owners coming in, is, wow, I can see the profitability around what's actually happening within my entire business. You start to see a news feed around what's actually happening within the TradeGecko platform, and action items for the team to be able to actually look at what invoices that need to be sent out for payments, and orders that need to be fulfilled. The next slide goes into the product catalog. So with regards to the product catalog, this is where you basically can have all the different variants and different types of products by shape, size, color, all that good stuff, all within the TradeGecko system. And we act as that single source of truth. So we actually push this information into your e-commerce store, or Shopify as an example. In terms of CRM, the relationship management piece as well, it's really important from an automation standpoint to manage your three main types of relationships. So if you're selling B2C, if you're selling B2B, or if you're selling to, or if you have your supplier network. And basically within this, you can set up all your terms, rates, everything that you need to. So you can basically, when you're sending out an invoice or a prospective purchase order, all that customer information is readily available. And then when we go into the sales order management piece, this is the control piece. And I think this piece I'll spend a little bit more time on, just because if you're thinking about as sales orders flow through, try to give you a visual here. Let's say you have a Shopify order that pulls through into the TradeGecko system. You actually can have that automated, so it's marked as a finalized and paid out order. At that point, let's say that you're leveraging a 3PL. You can actually have that order sent directly to your 3PL. Once that 3PL packs, and fulfills that order, you can have that 3PL actually talk back to TradeGecko, and once the order is en route, you basically can have that status change within the sales order and have it marked as packed and fulfilled, and then have an email through Shopify in that case actually sent out to the end customer. So the whole point here is to try to automate as much of your processes as humanly possible through our platform. And then back to the stock control and PO side. Here, you basically can have a sense around all your products, what you have on hand, what you have committed in terms of sales orders outstanding and what's actually available. And if there are any outstanding purchase orders and incoming stock, you can actually showcase that as well. And you can actually set reorder points for each of your warehouse locations within TradeGecko, and you get pretty granular here as well, and you can go all the way into the bin location. So in terms of the systems that we currently integrate through, there's two types that we like to look at. There's our native integration, so e-commerce carts like Shopify, being our biggest partner, WooCommerce, Magento, marketplaces such as Amazon, fulfillment and shipping through ShipStation, and accounting software such as Qubio and Xero. And one of our big initiatives this year is to continue to build out our ecosystem approach. So this is just a handful of the different softwares that we currently integrate through different e-commerce carts as well, and POS systems, some of the biggest marketplaces in the world, and then back to the WMS, which is wholesale management software, and 3PLs that you might be using currently. And the last piece that I'm going to walk through in terms of the product is if you are currently have a wholesale component or you're looking to get into wholesale, one of the things that we found that's like astonishing is sometimes we lose track of the fact that, you know, we always concentrate on kind of the B2C side of the business just because of the amount of businesses in it and the number of transactions around it. But the B2B market is actually 3 times the size. And we started to see a lot of customers coming to us looking for solutions around it, and specifically around this ability to actually handle the B2B side from a mobile and online standpoint, being able to take payments directly at trade shows, have reps be able to kind of look at real-time information, and actually accept orders on the go. So one of the other features of TradeGecko is if you are looking to build out your wholesale component, we actually have an opportunity where you can create a private customized store experience for each of your customers, have a customized product catalog, specific rates according to that customer, and actually have that act as like a sales channel into the TradeGecko system. Separate from that as well, if you are using Shopify Plus's wholesale solution, we can integrate through to that solution as well. So I guess the last piece I'll leave out with is usually as you're looking at, you know, an inventory and order management solution such as TradeGecko, you know, it can be something basic all the way through to advanced areas. So everything from whether you have perishable or non-perishable goods, being able to do batching and expiration dates, be able to act as that one sort of focus point and single source of truth around multi-location, multi-channel, work across composite variants and pack sizes, which is obviously incredibly important with our partnership here with Bold. Be able to sell past zero and have back ordering, pre-ordering, and then being able to handle multiple currencies and tax types through our system. So in terms of working together through Bold subscription, the nice thing is everything flows through seamlessly like any, basically like any Shopify order would. So any order that comes through as a Bold subscription, you basically know that the inventory is being tracked within TradeGecko. Those sales orders are being tracked through TradeGecko, and however you're looking to fulfill your orders flows through the exact same process. So everything is pretty tight here on the integration side, which is the reason why we're here today. And the last piece is as being great partners. What we're looking to do here is offer a special. So if you're interested or you have any questions, obviously feel free to contact me at mark.cohen@tradegecko.com. And we are offering an exclusive until end of June, 50% off first 2-month packages. Packages do range starting at about $100 a month, upwards of $1,000 a month. So feel free to get in touch with any questions here. And on to Kevin.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, so we're offering a promotion too, a very limited time offer. We're doing you can use Bold subscriptions free for 4 months. So the way our app is priced is that basically we have a flat rate of a monthly charge, and then you get charged based upon how many subscribers you have. But we know that if you're just introducing a business model now, a subscription business model now, it might take you a while to build up your subscriber base, which is why we're going to offer it to you free for 4 months, so you can set up a subscription on your store and gain some subscribers and really start growing your LTV and making some recurring revenue. So again, if you want to take advantage of it, the link is right there. That is the only link where you can get that offer. So make sure to visit that if you would like to use Bold subscriptions. Let's advance one more slide, and we will get into the questions. So I see
the fun part.
Yeah, the fun part. I told you guys to be tough on us. So I see some questions already. I will be kind of organizing the questions, and maybe I'll start off by answering the questions that were pointed towards us, Bold subscriptions, and then I'll pass it up to Mark and ask him the questions about TradeGecko.
Sounds good.
So the first question we had was about how our subscription app has changed over the past 2 years. And I can certainly say that it has changed a lot. I actually was the first original product manager for recurring orders for Bold subscriptions as well when we came out with it. And in the beginning, we kind of thought, people just really want to offer things like vitamins and coffee and allow customers to get that on a recurring basis. It was really designed for consumables. And I can say in the past few years, the subscription market has really changed. And they've, all these different unique ideas of how to offer, subscription boxes, mystery boxes, meal plans. It's all come out in the past few years. So we've been constantly revisiting our app and building in support for all these different business models. So I can certainly say the app is a much different app now than it was a few years ago. The next question I was going to ask here was talking about automating what items you could offer in a mystery box utilizing TradeGecko and Bold. Now, this might be a question for both me and Mark. I can talk about our side. We have worked with a few customers who have wanted to automate this, where I can give you one example where the customer was selling underwear. And they wanted a customer to go through and select all the different preferences they had of underwear, click subscribe, and based upon those criteria, they would get their monthly subscription for a new pair of underwear that matched what their preferences were. So we were able to work with them, and it's actually a feature you'll see coming up for us very soon. But we've worked with a few clients to launch this sort of business model. So if this is something that you're needing help with, do feel free to reach out to us. We can definitely provide some background. I know Mark may be able to provide some additional insight from the TradeGecko perspective.
Yeah, I guess on the TradeGecko side, the key is when we map out to Shopify, the variants just have to match. So as long as there is a variant within TradeGecko that has got an inventory count behind it, we can pull through kind of any combination on bundle there. So the key would be, and again, we can kind of talk offline about this, but we can make sure during setup and during testing that everything kind of flows through as we start out.
Mark, we have another question for you. It's how does TradeGecko work with a dropshipper?
That's a good question. So right now, we are an inventory and order management software. So basically, we say that if you have a high percentage, so if you currently 80, 90%, 100% of your business is through drop shipping, unfortunately TradeGecko is actually not a great solution. for you. We do work with some partners though, that if it is a percentage of your business operations, we do have integrations, and we can support drop shipping in those particular cases.
Great. Okay. Next one we have is we sell consumable products for the graphic industry. What ideas can you give me to offer increasing customers install base? With consumable products, it's subscriptions is a very obvious opportunity. If you sell a product where you have an item that needs to be replaced frequently, whether it's something like like something you eat like coffee, or whether it's something like a filter, it really makes sense just to offer somebody a slight discount to subscribe, because they're going to have to buy it again at some point. And we've seen a majority of customers will commit to subscribing to something that they know they need if they can receive a small discount for it. So for me, it's really just a straightforward decision to offer that sort of option, because from a back-end perspective, it really doesn't add any additional work for you. It just gives your customers more flexibility and creates more opportunities for you to make some more recurring revenue. Let's scroll back here. So we had a few questions from the same person. I'm just going to kind of read a couple of them out loud for you, Mark, about TradeGecko.
Sounds
talking
good.
about how TradeGecko works with QuickBooks, and how you would input products into TradeGecko.
Yeah, so long and short with QuickBooks, there's a bunch of information that we pass forward into QBO, and to be specific, we work with we have a direct integration with QBO. So any of your invoices, your sales invoices, get pushed back into TradeGecko, and actually your product information as well, and cost of goods sold gets pushed into the appropriate ledgers within QBO. Same thing on the purchasing side, going into your accounts payable ledger, in terms of POs that pull through from TradeGecko into QBO. So both customer information and product information does get pushed through into QBO from TradeGecko, and so you don't have to double enter it through.
Great. We had a question here about forecasting shipping for subscriptions. It's a good question. How our system works with shipping is we do pull in live shipping rates. So a lot of subscription providers will sometimes offer free shipping, if just work it into the cost of their subscription box. If you choose to charge them shipping, what we will do is when a customer signs up, they will pull a shipping rate based upon where you're shipping it to, and they'll get charged that fee every month. If you want to have that be a live charge and have the charge change every month depending on what the rates are currently, that's also an option as well. With prepaid subscriptions, like you had saw before when I showed you Lucky Tackle Box, when a customer buys a subscription for say a year in advance, knowing that they're going to get 12 individual orders, we actually have them prepay for all of the shipping. So they will pay individual shipping charges for each order all at once, right when they buy the subscription, so that they don't have to pay anything later on, and you get all the money up front. Let's look through the questions here. Another question here was, how would somebody switch from another subscription app to ours?
Great question.
It's a great question. We do imports or transfers probably on a daily basis from various other subscription systems. Some that work on Shopify, and others who are not currently using Shopify, they're using another e-commerce platform. The long and short of it is, it's not a very hard process to do. We work with you to do it. It's really just a little bit of data entry, and it happens relatively quickly once that's all sorted out. So I can say we've imported businesses that have 10 subscribers and businesses that have tens of thousands of subscribers. So we're willing to help you, and it's certainly a fairly easy and straightforward process that will have no interruptions or issues for your clients. Let's see. Let's see here. We have something about subscriber churn. It's a very important topic, subscriber churn is, and it's something that we probably should do like a whole separate live stream about. But I can tell you that we have a very powerful cancellation management system that is very similar to. I'm not sure if anyone listening here has ever subscribed to Audible and then has tried to cancel their Audible subscription. But if you have, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, where you go to cancel and they ask you, why are you canceling? And if you say it's because it's too much money, they'll say, well, how about we give you 10% off for the next 6 months? Or if you say, you know what, I don't listen to it anymore, they'll say, well, how about, these selections of books? Do any of these interest you? So it's all conditional based upon what you say, and then the merchant can give a solution. So we've built that into Bold subscription. So when you do start gaining subscribers, if people want to cancel, then you can prevent them from doing so. I think that that will about cover it off for the questions. Is there anything else you wanted to add, Mark?
No, I think this was great. I do appreciate having me on here, Kevin.
Yeah, and thanks for joining.